Okay. Canvas done. Page was seen. Okay, let's create a new component. Let's make this components. For first, create a folder. Components. And now we add. We add the component that was called from this example from the Babylon JS site, and it's called. What did I call the scene? Babylon scene, right? Okay, so Babylon. Scene. Let's call it this. JS. Makes sense. Oh, that's wrong. This is better. Yep. We need to remove certain things here. Extend component. Delete this. Yep. Better. This seems reasonable. I don't think there are any weird stuff in here, right? The rest looks fine. Should I call this? Let's do the same here. Okay, so we export this component, we call it, and let's call it scene. Yeah, let's make it easy. Let's make it easy for us, right? Scene. So we have scene. Wait, in there, they import the scene component. Why do they import the scene component? Let's say, default scene. Babylon scene. So we have once we have the component fold create scene. So they create a scene component, and they create another component page with scene. Okay, so they have one component that is containing the other component, which is fine. Babylon scene from scene component. This show, why do they? That's a little bit strange. Class scene extends component. Blah, blah, blah. They don't export it at all. Reusable erase component. Scenes will resize the engine when canvas resized. Blah, done. All right. That's a little strange. Okay, let's see. So, scene properties. So they have a scene component, and they have, and the scene component contains the canvas. Okay. Reusable reaction component for Babylon.js. Scene will resize the engine when canvas is resized. Okay. So this is the scene component, I guess. Okay, so they want me. Okay, so I get it. So this is the full app component. So inside here, this on scene mount. So let's try this. I guess let's remove all the stuff we don't need right now to make it really simple. The render call is here. Okay, so we have the render. Instead of here we have the canvas, which makes sense, but let's remove this for now. Okay, we have one scene component. So this component is supposed to be the scene. So this is the scene that's going to be rendered to the page, which means this is kind of like the app component, kind of. So let's copy all of this stuff over, I guess, at least the content. Okay, so now I have the content that I need, and I will put this into the app component. I'll remove the render fall here, because now there should be a render call in here as well. No? Oh yeah, I forgot to copy that. So that's the component itself. Let's undo. Let's remove all the stuff. We could also remove everything, right? Oh. So that's unseen. Yeah, okay, I think I can just paste this. So first I have an unseen mount stuff, and I have a render call like this. Makes sense. At the top here, they want me to import the scene itself. So let's call it just scene. Oh, let's call it bubbles. It doesn't matter. Oh, my bad. From so it's from components / Babylon scene. Yep. Import Babylon scene from scene, which makes sense. In here, I definitely have to remove this part. The rest was actually fine, I think. We can save this. We can go into this one now. Okay, so in here, I need the entire component, which I had right here. So let's copy it over and then remove the stuff that we don't need. Okay, let's remove everything from the scene. And let's call this Babylon scene component and export Babylon scene. There we go. So now we're exporting and what we wanted to export. Yes, I also can remove all the stuff that's in between, for now at least. And now I can actually add, this is the stuff from the example they have. We paste this in here. Oops, my bad. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go in here. Let's delete until there. Same thing here, same thing here. So we have three private. Okay, it's all private, yeah. It's true. Let's remove those. I don't think I need those. I can just use those. Okay. The rest seems okay. I have to go in here. Yeah. Let's see what is going on right now. Component is not found. What? Import everything from React. React. Babylon scene is not defined. In line 63 in this one. So no. Inside of Babylon scene? Okay. Oh, I'm bad. Yeah. Nice. Cool. So now I have a scene here. Okay, it doesn't fill the canvas at all, but that's still amazingly cool. Sweet. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's try resizing the window a little bit and see what happens. Okay, for right now it doesn't appear to be happening anything. Okay, so let's see. Reusable React component, Babylon.js, scene will resize the engine when canvas is resized. So this part is not working, and I'm not certain why exactly it's not working. So need I think I need to pass. Huh. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool actually. So I can move the camera already inside this view, which is pretty cool. Okay, so next thing is I need to impart. So this is here. Now, okay. All right. So we have a small scene, but for some reason it's still not resizing to the content size, or like at least the canvas size that we want to resize to. Okay, so let's quickly check this. Okay, so let's just quickly check this. So we have a component from mount. Babylon.js, class page with scene, extends something, creates the scene, and this is the component. Scene will resize the engine. Here's a page using a component for playground scene in our React website. Okay, so cool. Can I get that in? I don't know. Let's try that, right? Babylon scene, maybe. That's the width equals 400, or let's say 1000. see what it does. What does it do? So this doesn't change anything. Right. What, do I have to do this? I don't know. I don't think so, right? Because the Babylon scene itself is with, so these aren't, these are, I think these are integers. It should be at least. Oh yeah, nice. So this worked. Sweet. So this is definitely works, but it's not like responsive, but like at least it works, which is interesting. So I guess we could make it so that we have at least a default, because the resizing doesn't matter right now, at least. I mean, it will happen like this. This engine.resize based on like device pixel ratio and stuff. This.canvas, let's see. Canvas scene. On scene mount. The mesh. We create the scene, we create a ground attribute, we have a mesh, engine render loop. Okay. We could definitely do like where we create a default size for now, and then like figure out that stuff later. Let's see, what's the pixel aspect ratio for the screen here that I have to my right? Let's see. I'm not certain. Okay, so we have I'm not entirely sure. Let's say 120. 24, I think. Oh no, maybe. I'm not sure. What is the height of the screen? Let me check. So this is contrast. Nope. So this is just nope, that's not what I needed. Base settings, contrast, V position. Nope, nothing what I need. Oh, nope, this is not what I wanted. Oops. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there. That's good setting. Let's take 260. Okay. What was? Let's see again. I have this like small Chrome extension that kind of helps. So 923. Let's do that. Check where let's say 280. Probably it's like this more. Maybe like this. Okay. So it should resize, and we should have the correct size. I messed up the. Yeah, I messed it up. Okay, my bad. So let's delete the one here. Paste it here. Delete this one. And let's paste it here. Cool. Okay, so now it should be actually kind of the correct size, at least for what I can see on this screen to my right, which seems good. Maybe like a little smaller. I want to like hopefully. Let's do for now at least. Let's take 40 pixels away. Okay, cool. So now we have the scene in its view. Well, the width is a little bit messed up for me. Let's go 50. Cool. But apart from that, the scene is there. Still a little bit small for me, I guess. Let's try 70. How does that look? Okay, let's go with 80 again, I guess. Seems fine. Yeah, cool. So now we have the mesh here to the right, which is cool. Does it work to actually zoom this? Oh, so right now, so I gave fixed height and width, and suddenly I can't move the screen anymore. So let's remove those for a second, and let's see what happens then. So let's delete till the O part there. Seems reasonable. Okay. Either it's super slow or it's, I don't know. It doesn't look like I can move it again, which I guess seems reasonable. Huh. Okay, let's try texturing now. Okay, so main part that I wanted to try was like, so I have basic spheres and basic stuff on the screen, but I wanted to see like how does texturing work. Okay, cool. So let's undo this. So we have at least a nice big view that we can actually take a look into. And now let's take a look into the texturing part that they're talking about in the Babylon stuff. Okay, and let me check if it can see that. Should be. Okay, cool. So we just did this part where we have the basic Babylon integration into Reactive. And now we want to see resources. Let's see. Maybe Babylon 101 makes more sense. But this course, materials. So materials allow you to cover your meshes in color and texture, and they need light to be seen. One material can be used to cover as many meshes as you wish. Reactions to light. Whether the material is a color or texture, there are different ways it can react to light. Diffuse, the basic color or texture of the material, as viewed under a light. Specular, the highlight given to the material by light. Emissive, the color or texture of the material as if self-lit. Okay, ambient, the color or texture of the material lit by the environment background lighting. Okay, interesting. So this is like a new ambient. Diffuse material require a light source to be created. Ambient colors require the ambient color to be set given the environment background lighting. Okay, scene ambient color, new Babylon color 1-1. Okay, let's try this. Do I have to do this here or here? So I have to do this into the scene part. Okay, so the scene part is definitely being created here. So maybe like do like this. Let's see what this looks like. I don't think did anything. Current material using diffuse color example, ambient color example. So this is not what I want. Diffuse, a special material requires a light source to be created. Ambient color requires the ambient color of the scene to be set given the environment background lighting. Diffuse and specular, emissive and ambient. Okay, so but did I actually now define anything? Light source. Lights are of course necessary to see meshes and affected brightness of colors. Measurable by from lit. Light will pass through all meshes and will produce shadows only when shadows generation is set on the mesh. The default number of lights allowed is 4, but this can be increased. Okay, types of light. There are 4 types: light, point, directional, spotlight, hemispheric light. Okay, do that as an example. Lights 101. Okay. Lights are used as you would expect. Effect meshes are seen. Okay, types of light. Very light, new Babylon light. Point light, new Babylon vector mesh. Let's just try this one. This should... A point light. A point light is light defined by a unique point in world space. The light is emitted in every direction from this point. A good example of point light is a standard light bulb. Okay, let's try this. Try add this light bulb to the scene. Oh, pretty cool. I'm not sure if this works already. Could be interesting. Oh yeah, it does. Interesting. So this already like creates light source, and you can actually look into it. Okay. Okay, let's go for meshes. Back to meshes. So I now have a light source. Light and shadows. This is not what I wanted. I wanted to go back to the reactions light. Colors, material. Remember that ambient color will only apply since ambient color has been set. Okay, ambient color has been set. Okay. Babylon center material. Center material, my scene. Oh, we can actually go to the playground snap, I guess. Okay, so in here they basically create a material, put it on the ground, and then like see it react to the light. Material color purple. Interesting. Okay, so this is the fuse example. Let's try that one. At least let's take a look at what that is. So they have a nice... There's some nice spheres. That's pretty hilarious, actually. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Aquotation. Alright, so next. This engine created... So what do we do here? We have the camera setting, we have the light setting, on scene mount. So this would be a basic... So yeah, how do I make the texture? Okay, in this playground, all spheres are lit by the same hemispheric light, with diffuse and ground color green. The first sphere has a diffuse texture, the middle an emissive texture, and the one on the right has a material with a red diffuse color and an ambient texture. Okay. Texture settings such as this picture and dark. Okay. Let's take this. Let's see what they do here. Interesting. That's hilarious, actually. It looks pretty funny, actually. Wow. So this is basically you create a new Babylon texture from some source, add it to the scene. Dog diffuse texture has alpha true, back face culling false. Create box scene. Okay, interesting. What I would be interested in is actually if I have this. Let's say I have this scene. Let's. So do I create material right now? I don't think so, right? So right now, the only two things I do is ambient color. I don't necessarily like what was the reasoning? You need an ambient color for one. Yeah, let's read this for now. The ambient color stuff. Okay, so let's see. Diffuse and specular material require. Okay, require a light source to be created. Ambient color requires the ambient color of the scene to be set, given the environment background lighting. Given the environment background lighting. Okay. Ambient color, the color or texture of the material lit by the environment background lighting. Okay, so if the background lighting, they mean the reflection, would be my guess here. So we can create materials here, and then we can add materials to stuff. So what I want to do is, this is actually cool, and this is actually just basic texture. In this playground example, all spheres lit by the same hemispheric light with diffuse red and ground color green. The first sphere has a diffuse texture, the middle... Okay, so this diffuse thing that's green is weird, right? Ambient color. Diffuse color examples. To give an idea how the material diffuse color reacts to diffuse light color, the following balance. Yes. Alright, then whenever realize red. Okay, so I guess if you ambient, the color of textures of the material lit by the environment background lighting. So if I remove the background lighting, then it's actually that makes I don't necessarily feel like I need it. So I could definitely remove this one. Now it should be just lit, but it should not contain anything special apart from that. Yeah, and if I add it again, this would be the result that I don't necessarily see super much difference there. But okay. Okay, so texture example. As for color, I like this. Okay, so first thing is I wanna. Oops. Okay, so this is definitely okay. So I want to create my material here, and I want to add the material to what? The sphere, right there. Yeah. Sphere dot material equals mat. Yes. Well, the music is a little bit. The music is a little bit annoying, right? Let's see what this does. I really would like to be able to rotate it, but I can't rotate it. It looks really strange. let's say backface culling false. I'm not sure. Okay, I could also do this. So in here, 16.2 is that? I don't know. Is this creating another scene? Object inside the scene? I'm not certain. No, it does. Cool. So these are able to turn. Camera attached control canvas. Okay. Okay. Where's the camera actually here? This attaches the camera to the canvas. But I don't have it. Like, I know that I can't. Oh yeah. Oh, I see. Oh yeah. I didn't know. So let's move around. Let's take a, oh, nice. Okay. Okay, so this is basic texture applied to like a very basic shape. Question would now be like, if I take, for instance, from Thingiverse, I take something from there and I want to attach something to that. So complex textures, right? So complex. Question would be like, how complex textures? How do I apply complex textures and not like simple ones like this? This obviously makes sense. I can actually put it there, but I don't necessarily feel like this would immediately be. Or is it that you would actually do in Blender, then you would do the entire mesh there, you would also add the textures, and then you'd export it? Let's try. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Drawing the 2D scene rendered. Okay. So whenever something is not in view, it's not rendered, right? Whenever a texture blocks something, it's not visible. Which is pretty interesting, actually. Makes sense. Okay. Wireframe. You can see a mesh in the wireframe mode using... Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at the examples, what they have here. Hmm. Well, does it look good? Not really, right? It kind of works, but it doesn't look blending. Blending is the method of combining colors on screen. For example, when color... Chilling. Chilling. Repeat your texture as tiles across a mesh. Set your texture on a mesh, all possible. Set your texture on a mesh. So they have this. Yeah. That's not a good place to be, right? Tilling wireframe. Times when you want to see the underlying structure of a mesh pulling wireframe too. Otherwise it's kind of like, it's cool, but like it doesn't really work. This looks pretty cool. Material wireframe too. Let's try this. It works the same for us. So we have material somewhere. Where was it? Here. I don't know now. Do we now see the material through it and the texture on it? Yeah, it does. That's hilarious. Well, let's reduce the size a little bit. Let's do it like this. See, now I can move it again, which is like super weird. Don't know where this happens. Okay, so. Okay. Apart from that, it's fine. Let's remove this. Okay, wireframe. Possible, of course it is. All meshes can use multi-material approach of dividing the mesh into submeshes and using different color on each submesh. Multi-mesh with color. Okay. Oh, my bad. A bit too far. Okay, meshes have distinct faces or surfaces as a box cylinder or a built-on pylon mesh builder create mesh method can have color texture applied to these faces individual. One image file which is composed of multiple images from the base of the arrays. Dynamic textures. The dynamic texture allows you to have an active material that you can draw. Play with dynamic textures to appear more textured, more smooth. Okay. Bump map. Hmm. 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 So this kind of feel like, even though there is a texture, it kind of feels a little bit strange. Hmm. I don't know. It doesn't feel like. I mean, it feels like the option is there to kind of like create something. Hmm. Let's look at what he's talking about here. Mm. Okay, let's start. And look, oh, I think you can't see that. Let's see.
Gay from Scratch, and welcome back to our ongoing Babylon JS tutorial series. Now, first off, I want to apologize. There's been a bit of a lag in basically every time we're going this
Okay.
tutorial. I just had my eyes done, and I've had a lot more time reacting to be able to actually see the screen to do anything. So things have been, as you can see in front of you, it's already done.
Let's
What
make
we're
it a
covering
little
today
faster.
is 3D models, specifically Blender 3D models. We're going to look at the process of exporting a model from Blender to use in our
I
Babylon
guess.
JS project, and then of course we're going to look at the code to actually display that model. Sounds like a lot, but actually it isn't. Ideally, this tutorial should be about 10 minutes or less. There's actually not a lot of work involved, which is very cool for concerning what we're getting out of this. So, first off, we need to have the installer. That is available. Specifically, we are looking at Blender today. There's also an installer for 3D Studios Max for Cheetah, a generic FBX one. We are looking specifically at the Blender-only process, so if you're using one of those other tools, the installation process is going to be a little bit different. But in this case, all we need to do is go ahead and click this link. I will link the text version of this tutorial, which contains the link you need down below. Once you've got it linked from GitHub, you want to just go ahead and download it. It's just downloading a zip called Blender to Babylon .5.2.zip. Obviously, if this is sometime in the future, grab the most current version of it. If you're in the Blender exporters folder, you will see.
We are in the future.
It's easier to install it via the zip. Whatever the newest zip is, and we're off to races. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are other exporters available. We are not covering them today. All right, so once you have that zip file downloaded, go ahead, fire up Blender. So see Blender default scene here. Go over here to File, User Preferences. And then under User Preferences, switch over to Add-ons, select Install from File. Go ahead and find that file that you downloaded, wherever it happens to be, and click and bring it up. That will ultimately bring you, I've already installed it, so you're not seeing the exact process for me, but you will bring you to a screen that looks somewhat like this. Worst case scenario, come up here and filter, like so. I did Baba for the beginning of Babylon. You'll see the exporter here. Again, if you did this from zip, it will automatically bring it to this. All we need to do next is hit the checkbox. And done. We now have the importer enabled for exporting from, or the import exporter, enabled for exporting from Blender to a Babylon format. Now, one thing you may want to do at this point is click this button right here, the Save User Settings. Otherwise, you will have to re-enable this every single time you start Blender up. There's some reasons why you would want to go one way, some reasons why you would want to go the other way, but if you're going to be doing a lot of exporting, save it to your default so that plugin is always enabled. You don't have to import it every time, but you will have to turn it back on. Alright, we now have the ability to export from Blender to Babylon. So come here down to export, you will see now there's a new option there. Now let's go ahead and actually export something out. I'm going to go ahead and get something from, this is a model I have made available. It's on the Patreon backers Dropbox link. You can use whatever Blender file you want. So if you are a patron, by the way, thank you. But you could use this direct file if you wish. It's just a simple shipping container that's been textured. It's got the various different texture maps on it. There's an ambient lighting map, a normal map, and a diffuse color channel map on there. But again, use whatever model you want. Now, I do caution you, though, when you're trying to get your workflow working, always start with a simple model with simple texture and nothing more. So textured model, sometimes because the exporter will require a texture to be attached. So always start with a very simple textured model, no animations, not a whole lot of fanciness going on, just to make sure your workflow works. That way when something does break down the road, you've got a baseline to work from. So again, start with something very simple. Or if you have access to it, use this model, because I can already confirm to you that it does in fact work. So once you've got your model loaded, whichever one you have, go ahead and select export, and then Babylon.js. Now you will notice there are actually 0 options, which is actually a little disappointing. Now, this was the ability to specify what your access is. Very common thing in exporting game engine. Sadly, here is not. Now, once you've got it set, pick where you're located. So I'm going to dump this straight into where my code is. So my code is that index file right there. So let's export the scene out here. And let's head on over and check that out. So we go into C temp, model, and here's what it's generated. It's created a .babylon file. It's copied all of our 3 textures over, which are all PNG files. And the Babylon file is the most important bit. Now, I'll show you this in process in a second. So here is some basic code. If you've been following the tutorials to this point, you'll have a pretty good idea of what's going on here. I'll go through it very quickly, but there's not a lot special happening. And I'll go over here to File View, and you'll notice, File View, there is that .babylon file it created. Damn it, it called it. Damn it. I really wish it didn't call it index.html.babylon. You know what, I'm going to undo that. That was a mistake on my behalf. I shouldn't have clicked that index file when I was showing you. So I just want to go ahead and get rid of all of you guys. So ignore this part for a second. I just shouldn't have. So what I wanted to do is file, export, Babylon.js, shipping container, Babylon. Alright. My mistake. So there you see, it now actually has the right name. It's a .babylon file, and all the textures were copied over. So head on back over. Let's take a look at what that .babylon file contains. Very simple text format. Basically, it's a JSON file containing all the information, the texture information, the vertex, and relief mapping information for our particular model. These can get quite large, but in this case, it's a fairly small one because it's a very simple model on purpose. So there is the Babylon file we want to go ahead and load. This is going to be loaded via JSON parser. It's all done transparently for you, so don't worry about that. But this is essentially can be thought of as the 3D format 4 Babylon files. So get rid of this text view. Let's go on back to our, oh, delete that. Where's index? Let's open our code up. All right, and now you can go away. Make this a little bit easier to read. Very straightforward stuff going on here. We create our canvas, create our engine, create our scene, set the scene background color. Now the first thing we are going to have to change from normal is by default it's going to look for a .manifest file when it's loading assets. And we don't want to do this. These are used for offline rendering, and it's completely not something I need, and I don't want to have to create them. So we'll just go ahead and set engine.enable offline support equals false. And this will get rid of the .manifest file error. So if you start getting .manifest file errors, go ahead and just turn that guy off. So otherwise, we're going ahead, we're creating a camera, we're creating a light, we're attaching said light to camera, we're turning the light intensity up a little bit too, just to make things look a little bit sharper when we're done. And that's it. Now it is time to go ahead and load our model. Now, models are loaded asynchronously. We use a class called scene loader. So it's just Babylon dot scene loader. Wait, just a second. Let me import that so I get. Okay. One sec. I'm using the wrong URL here. All right. So I just want to switch it. I was using a local install. I just want to go ahead and switch to the CDN link, and I'll put them back over here. So. All right.
Makes sense.
Back to our code. So scene loader right here. We want to go ahead and just import our polygon mesh now. So scene loader dot import mesh. Now you can actually bring in named pieces of meshes. So if I actually go back to Blender, you'll see that this guy is actually called cube. So we could import the single mesh, have multiple meshes in a single .babylon exported file. In this case, I'm going to just treat the entire thing as a whole. So again, don't really need that. And shipping container.babylon, obviously our file name. Next up is scene, where to do it. And then finally, there is a callback function that basically is going to be called when the load is successful. So at this point in time, it's going to call this code when this mesh has been successfully imported. And then it passes in an array of meshes that it imported. In this particular case, we actually only have one. So we could just use it. And we can actually be done at this point. We don't need to go through all of the imported meshes. But I'm going to do this just to show you some of the post-processing you can do. And all we're going to do is we're going to rotate the mesh 45 degrees. Nothing special, but so new meshes is a collection of the meshes it imported, and we'll loop through them for each, like so. Then for each one, we are actually going to be calling that function. It's passed in the mesh that is processed, right on my level of levels. And we're just going to go mesh.rotation equals new Babylon dot vector 3 and that equals load dot 2 radians 45. So all we're really doing here is rotating 45 degrees about the x-axis, just to show you that you could. So if you needed to do multiple, for example, or number of these, you could. So actually, end of our scope, end of our function. Think in theory we are done here. Let's go ahead and run our code. What do we have in here? 949. All right, where did I screw up? Where did I go wrong? Okay. So callback function begins as, looks like I just have an extra. There. There we go. So there is our shipping container. As you can see, it was loaded. It was rotated 45 degrees. So if we wanted to, we could actually get rid of this entirety. So there. Don't need any of that, and it will simply have not rotated at all. So just showing you that, something you'll handle. It's basically as each thing is loaded, go ahead and run this code. So if you do need to do things like scale up, reorientate, reparent, etc. your meshes, that is where you can do them. But as you can see, we really don't have to. In order to load that mesh, really all we need to do is call this import mesh. This could be left as empty or null, and we're off to the races. And as you can see, there is our model. Loaded into Babylon, very clear. You can see a lot of intensity because of that actual light that I'm shining at it. But very simple. There's not a lot involved in actually bringing a model in. Now, of course, where this does get more complicated is when your model import-export breaks, something goes wrong, there's an incompatibility there. That's why I recommend you start small and work your way up. But that's it. That's all we're going to cover today. Very straightforward, simple process for the most part. You just go into Blender, you add the new add-on, you export as a .babylon file, and then the code, as you saw, is very simple. We basically just need to call scene.
Okay, cool. So I guess we would have to Let's start with Blender a little bit more. I guess so. His workflow, I remember, was everything into Unity and then like do everything there. But he only does 2D basically. Mostly, he do 2D animations and stuff, which makes sense. Um, hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mhm. Documentation, user manual. Getting started. So introduction, Blender history, about the free software, Blender community. Development, getting support, independent sites, develop for the Blender system, getting support, development RC channel, useful links. Student help system is the first one I definitely need to check. Blender has a range of built-in and web-based help options. Yeah, let me put this onto this so we can see. All right, and let me make this a little bigger. Hopefully this should work because we're gonna read a little bit of it right now. We could also create another scene. Duplicate. Let's call this scene Blender. Let me quickly do this in OBS so that we can see this, and we don't need the terminal window right now. We don't need the debugger pane right now. Okay, we need to see the tutorial pages, right? And what else? We need to have, and let's open Blender. Blender, there you go. Blender starting up. Let me add one additional video capture, display capture, window capture, there you go. Window capture, add new one, to call this Blender. Name already taken. Blender UI, okay? And we call the window from Blender. Where is it? Desktop, desktop, desktop. Let me find it. Blender manual, Chrome help system, Blender. There you go. Show it. Okay, so now you hopefully should be able to see somewhat. Maybe. Okay, let's make this a little smaller. Maybe like this. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, cool. Alright. Then it's a range of built-in web-based. Okay, so question is like, now I start to remember this. User interface, all the regions and all the stuff. Modeling, painting and sculpting, introduction, brushes. Cool. Very good, very good. Could do the same thing for Krita, I guess. Okay, cool. Right, I think I'm good for today. So tomorrow we're gonna probably tomorrow or maybe maybe not tomorrow, but like we'll see. And then we're gonna start with like all out in Blender. So everything like from start. We never did like maybe I should start like I'm not sure when they did 2.8 releases, right? So let's check this. Blender. Let's see. What do they say? Okay, so Blender 2.8 release. Where could time it for this release? Blender.org. The fun is back in 3D. From a new to workspace, simpler UI, dependency graphs, Blender 2.8 brings updates all across the board. What's new in Blender? About overview interface, yeah, viewport, collection cycles, more features, try it yourself, stay up to date. Series of time and hundreds of months of work by developers from the Blender community. Blender team decided to tackle workflow not only by improving UI configurations and layout, but especially by bringing back 3D tools and editing where it belongs in 3D space. Everything should be real-time and interactive, whether you make photorealistic environments or cartoon animations. Overview: Blender 2.8 features, revised user interface, a high-end viewport, a new collection system, and much more. Here are the top 5 things you should know about Blender 2.8 user interface. So definitely they change everything. Eevee is a new physical-based real-time renderer. It works both as a renderer for final frames and as an engine-driving Blender real-time viewport for creating assets. Its advantages featuring such as volumetric scene space, reflection, and reflection suppressive setting. Oh my god, this is pretty cool. When are there collections or features? Try it yourself. We do not recommend using beta versions in production. There are still many bugs and data loss is likely, but still possible. It's not likely, but still odds backup your files. Do not use production with great power. Yeah. Okay. Provided by the community. This is so cool. Stay up to date. This is nice. Okay, so definitely tomorrow we're gonna check out like all the new stuff that's happening in Blender. This is gonna be pretty cool. So checking out the Blender Eevee stuff. That's cool. Figure out like what it does, what it can do, what it can do for us. Cool. So that sounds like a good plan. Okay, so thanks everybody for watching. Hope you have a good evening and see you tomorrow. Take care.